everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Talks with Lakisha. I am your host, Dr. Lakisha James. Today, I want to go into more detail about who I am and more about Talks with Lakisha. So the first thing I would like to do is tell you about Talks with Lakisha. Talks with Lakisha debuted in 2021. Talks with Lakisha is registered in the state of Georgia. So my goal for Talks with Lakisha is to go global. Right now, I'm local in Atlanta, Georgia, but my goal is to go global. So Talks with Lakisha started out in 2021, like I said, and I started talking about entrepreneurship, book collaboration, corporate event planning, and mentorship. And I sat back to think about, is that really reaching the people? I started the YouTube channel and I got a few followers. So I had to sit back and re-strategize, sit back and plan out, how can I be different? How can Talks with Lakisha be different? Because there's so many people that have talk shows, so many people that bring in guests to interview and not really have a conversation. So what I did, I sat back, re-strategized, and here I am. This year I am in the studio, so I'm very excited about that. But this year I'm going to bring you something different, something impactful, something that's going to educate you, something that's going to be informative to my audience. So I'm bringing in guests to interview, guests that knows about their expertise, someone that's knowledgeable in their field. And sometimes it may just be something that we strike up on set where we can have fun and be in agreement with the little thing, right? So I'm excited about that. And enough about Talks with Lakisha. Again, I am your host, Dr. Lakisha James. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, been here all my life. Wanted to relocate to another area, but decided to stay here because this is my roots, right? So who is Dr. Lakisha James? I am an international best-selling author. I am the founder and owner of Design Events by Lakisha, where we specialize in corporate event planning, event design, and set design for films and plays. And I'm also your host of Talks with Lakisha. So I'm very excited to share with you guys more about me and a little side note about me outside of me doing entrepreneurship, going to networking events, being in the space of amazing people like my first guest that I'll be introducing you to. I'm a mother. I'm a mother to a 24-year-old and a 7-year-old. Before you guys say, wow, that's a big age difference. It is, but my youngest, she needed me and I needed her, so here I am. I am sharing what I do with them. I'm sharing what I do with you guys, so enough about me and enough about Talks with Lakisha. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about my guest, right? So she is Right Honourable Yvonne E. Gamble. I met her back in 2017 when I started my business. She was actually assisting me with the Dun & Bradstreet. For all of you entrepreneurs, you guys know what Dun & Bradstreet is, right? It's the business for, the business credit. So I was new in the game, new entrepreneur, but I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But she kind of led me the way. And little did I know that we'll be tied to the hip for years to come. Fast forward to 2023, here we are, we're still having conversation. We have Zoom meetings, so I'm very excited to introduce to you guys her. I'm just going to give you a little snippet about her because she has like an amazing resume. And for you guys that don't know her, you guys will become to know her today because she's such a friendly, enjoyable, and very knowledgeable in so many fields, so many topics. So she is the founder of SanPete Financial Venture Capital. She is also the founder of T-Minus Real Estate Development and T-Minus Space Exploration. Do you guys know what that is? You guys will definitely find out about it because she's going to go into more detail about what she does and who she is. And she's also the executive producer of FYNB TV. And she is the publisher of EliVonn Publishing House International. When I say this lady has had a very huge impact on me, she really has. So I'm very excited to introduce you guys to her. And what we'll be talking about is smart cities, the funding and financing of smart cities. I know a lot of you guys may not know about smart cities. I didn't really know about smart cities until I did start doing some research because we had came up with the topic before we started actually here. So I'm very excited to see exactly what smart cities, how it's funded, what the government is doing about it, and how you can get involved in smart cities. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you guys my guest, Right Honourable Yvonne E. Gamble. Hi, Yvonne. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here, doing very well today.
How was your drive in?
It was very good. Very uneventful, very smooth. I came as early as possible could to get here.
Awesome, awesome. So I already told the audience about what we're going to be discussing today. Smart cities, finance and funding. For the ones that don't know about smart cities, could you tell us what is a smart city?
Sure. Smart cities, it really hits three tenets to what makes a city a smart city. Number one is going to be technology going across the whole ecosystem of the city. The whole operation of the city is going to be brought, some technology is going to be brought from walking on the sidewalks, from heated sidewalks, from the transportation systems, all the way to the waste management systems, the water systems, the electricity systems, solar power, and the ecosystem. That makes a smart city. Another tenet that makes a smart city is, does it bring value? And your smart cities, they're basically like mega centers of data, because at every point, at every place where you are, it's going to be collecting data. So that's one of the things that's going to be that I want to share with you what Google was trying to do in Toronto with their smart city. We'll talk about that a little bit later down in the show. I want to share that with you. That's very interesting. But another tenet of smart cities is the fact that it actually brings the people in closer to the development of the city itself, which is something that we've always done, but it's always been shared only by a few, the rich and powerful. They get to participate in the cities, they get to have streets named after them, highways named after them, what have you. But smart cities now are taking and making that available all the way to every person who's going to be a resident of that city.
Did you guys hear that about smart cities? See, I didn't know all of that. Did you guys know that? Now, I hope you guys have a pen and paper, because when we come back from break, we're going to dive deep, much deeper into smart cities, finances, and funding. Hey, and before we go to break, we'll be back. I am your host, Dr. LaKisha James. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Talks with LaKisha. I am your host, Dr. LaKisha James. And if you guys caught the first segment, I did introduce to you my first guest, Right Honourable Yvonne E. Gamble. So she did tell you guys what smart cities were. So I hope you guys still have your pen and paper. We're going to dive deeper into smart cities, funding, and financing. So Yvonne, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
So we're going to dive more into the smart city aspect. How are smart cities financed? If you can share with my audience that.
Sure. The smart cities are financed in one of three ways. Either you're going to do an alliance agreement, and you see that in a partnership with the actual government and with separate outside entities, or you can do value added, where we actually like data that's collected, that data can be sold, and that can help to finance the city, or you can do revenue share and profit sharing.
Revenue sharing. Tell us a little bit more about the revenue sharing.
In the revenue sharing, when you generally look at a venture capitalist, they generally want to have the money in 3, 5, 10-year segments of time. But when you're talking about a city, because a city is going to be developed, say, over a 40-year period of time, and then it's going to expect to last for another maybe 100 years or maybe 200 years behind that. So it's going to take a longer time in order for them to actually recoup their investment. So what they'll do is they will take an agreement and say, can we share in a portion of the revenue, or is there some profit sharing that we can share in at a later point in time or at a continued point in time? And that's how they recoup their investment.
Wow. Did you guys get that? You guys wrote that? Sharing, right? Hey, if you guys want to invest in smart cities, I think you guys need to do so. So Yvonne, how does the government finance the smart city? What do they get the money from to finance the smart cities?
Smart cities, traditionally, they would do a municipal bond. The municipal bond, that whole process, it takes a very long time to do that. So what they are doing now is governments are selling off assets. So they may sell land that's in the city to an entity, and then they'll lease back the land. They may sell the rights to develop, say, the water filtration systems, and then they will lease back that to, and then that way the operation is on the onus on the person who's actually innovating or who has purchased that. and they're not having to pay or having to increase taxes in order to pay for the infrastructure.
Look at that. You guys hear that? That's interesting. Now, Yvonne, I know before we started the show that we were discussing about the highways and the parks named after, they don't even have to be famous people. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? How does that become, how do they name parks and highways after people? And why do they do that?
Well, one of the things, if you think about it, if you want to build a city, right now it's about 400 projects around the world of mega cities that are coming up, new smart cities, new eco-friendly cities that are coming up. And in order to finance that, that's a hybrid of financing, the government, the private sector, and the citizens who are going to stay in those cities. So what they will do is you can actually, if you're part of that, you can actually pay in so much money and have that park or have an area or a section to be named after you. That's how you get these different sections of town. And then people say, well, how is that? Like Hyde Park, Illinois. Well, that's named after Mr. Hyde. They were the ones that put in the most money, and that's how that particular area got denoted, designated to them. And that's pretty much how it gets done.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? That's how it gets done. Now, if you guys want a highway or park after you, you guys already know what to do. Now, Yvonne, tell us a little bit more about how you got into the smart city. How did you become so knowledgeable and expert in the smart city aspect?
Well, in the venture capital realm, which is what we do, as you said, thank you for that. We actually had a call. We have a client. We do infrastructure. So anything that's going to actually build the infrastructure of a town, a city, a province, a state, or a country. And so we were asked to actually help build and to help fund smart cities. And this is, we're global. So this was in Africa, and they were looking for those. And the one, Acorn, which some people will know, the singer, and he's building there in Senegal. So we were asked to come in, to be a part of their financing team to put monies together for them. So it became a hybrid, and it became some different alternative ways. And one of the ways that's extremely alternative is Bitcoin. And so we have the coin, the Acon. And so that was developed in order to actually elicit from the general population around the world. Anyone can now go on, buy that coin. That coin actually helps to finance that city. That's a part of the financing, not the whole financing, but a part of the financing.
Wow, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you guys heard that about Bitcoin? I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's amazing. Now, as you guys know, like I shared with you the first segment of how we met, and I want to just revisit that. We met back in 2017 when I first started my business, and since then she's been an integral part of me. I wanted her to be my first guest because she's not new to this. I'm not new to this, so I wanted her to come on to share her experience and her expertise with you guys as far as the knowledge is concerned. So we're definitely diving into more about smart cities, how it's funded, and the government aspect of it. Now, it seems like smart cities comes with price tags. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. They do. Yes, they do. And we have one that actually is coming here in the United States, and it's the city of Toulouse. And they are building, it is going to be from the ground up, and that's $400 billion.
Wow.
For that.
$400 billion. Did you guys hear that? $400 billion. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's a lot. That's a lot, and it has to be done. It's done in stages, and bringing in that much capital, and then also it's done through innovation. When we say a smart city brings about technology, it also brings about innovations. So it's different new technologies that actually can be put into the city. Those new technologies, such as the waste management, the waste treatment, and everything is recycled. Those sorts of things will actually be able to bring it to a point where now that is something that can actually be reused.
Wow, that is amazing. So much to know about smart cities. So, of course, we have to take a break, right? We got to pay the bills. So as soon as we come back, we're going to tell you a little bit more about smart cities. And also we have a little fun fact that Yvonne will share with us. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Dr. Lakisha James here, the host of Talks with Lakisha. Do you guys have your pen and paper? Now, Yvonne has been dropping some nuggets on smart cities, how it's financed, and the government funding. So we're going to delve right back into it. Now, she did mention to me off air that she does have a fun fact. But before we get to the fun fact, we have a few more questions, a conversation that we're going to have together, right? So, investing in smart cities. Now, if I wanted to invest in smart city, how would I do that?
Yes. Well, one of the ways that I would say to you, City of Tolosa.
Okay.
That one. You can actually go on to City of Telosa, TELOSA.com, and actually join. And then in there, they have conversations, they've got webinars, they've got training, educational, and then of course they have the investments. And you can come in investment from $1 up to the millions of dollars, whatever suits you to invest in that. And also, your investment is not just simply going into a pot or a pool of money. You can actually direct that. So if you are someone who is very interested in the growing of food, for food security, that sort of thing, you could invest in that segment. If you're interested in transportation or waste, computer, data collection, you can invest in any of those areas. You get to select which area you want to invest in. And if you wanted to have a street named after you, you could invest in that.
I think I'm going to go for the street named after me. How would you guys think Dr. Lakisha James Street, Road, Avenue would take? It has that ring to it, right? And better yet, maybe a highway. Maybe Highway 20. Going down west, I can see Dr. Lakisha James Highway. I'm just saying. Wishful thinking, though, wishful thinking. But Yvonne, I did get a email from you wanting me to join. I think it's Tolosa.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to join that. That's I said, that name sounds familiar because I remember getting that email from you. That's amazing. Now, I know we was on break and we had a short break, but did you guys go ahead and Google smart cities, how it's funded, how the government funds smart cities? If not, I think you guys need to go ahead and Google that, find out more about smart cities and how they're funded. Now, Yvonne, you did say that you had a fun fact for us.
Yes, I do. And the fun fact I wanted to share with you, and that was in 1626, a gentleman by the name of Peter Minuit, he actually bought the island of Manhattan from the American Indians who were there, and he bought it for $24.
$24. Now you guys know $24 these days with inflation going on is nothing. You can't do anything with $24. $24.
$24, and he named it New Amsterdam. And it was not until 1674, by treaty with the British of Westminster, that they bought the island from him, and they renamed it New York after the Duke of York.
That is a fun fact. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. That's how New York was named. That's amazing.
It's just that simple. It's just that easy. And another thing I just wanted to share this if I have a moment.
Absolutely. The audience is listening. We're listening. We want to know.
Las Vegas.
That's another one.
Las Vegas is a city that was built out of the desert. It was just a desert. That's all it was.
It is hot there.
And when they went and looked at that, and that's in our recent times, and said, this is what they wanted to build, this is what we wanted to look like. That's how you envision that future of what you want that to look like. And you bring that there. And then you take that vision and you actually let someone else know, this is the vision that I have. You write that plan. You write that vision.
Hey, they say write it down and make it plain. That's that vision. You can look at it all day. If you look at it, that means you'll start moving on it, take action on it. I love it. So Yvonne, can you tell our audience how they can get in contact with you and learn more about what you do, who you are, and all that great stuff about you?
The best way is just to reach me on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, that's a professional platform. LinkedIn, you can reach Right Honourable Yvonne E. Gamble. Now, I would like to thank my guest, Yvonne, for coming in and sharing my first episode with me. Do you guys think I did okay? Well, first episode? Definitely want to hear what you guys think, how you're feeling. Anything that we did not cover that you want to learn more about, definitely let me know. So I want to discuss with you guys the next episode. So the next episode, you guys know we're in like the, 2023. And we have smartphones we use for everything. So our next segment will be how to shoot professional videos with your smartphone. Are you guys excited? I'm excited about that because for me, I'm in the studio. I like the professionalism with the cameras and all of that great stuff. So I'm really interested to find out how and why you guys want to shoot professional videos with your smart camera, right? So again, thank you guys so much for sharing this platform with me. I really thank you guys for being here on this journey. I'd like to thank my guest, Yvonne. She's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise, your knowledge, and all of that great stuff. So like you guys heard it, you guys can invest in smart cities and also think about investing in a highway. Dr. LaKisha James Highway. I like the sound of that. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think that's the next on my bucket list to do. Dr. LaKisha James Highway. Going down Highway 20, Georgia 20. I love it. I love it. I love it. So again, I want to thank my team for being all that they are because without them, I could not be here with the cameras, the lights, and all of this holding me down. Thank you guys so much for doing all you can, holding me down. And again, for me, being who I am, started this journey, like I said, back in 2017 and speaking on this platform. And again, this is my second season for Talks with LaKisha, so I'm very excited to bring you guys something new. Just stay tuned for other segments to come. Very excited. It's going to be educational, informative for you guys. So I'm excited to share with you guys more about me, more about Talks, and also more about the guests that I'll be having this season. So this is, of course, the end of the show. I'm excited. I'm excited about the next show. So again, thank you guys for all you do. And I have a famous saying that I kind of brought up. Like, everyone has a story. What's yours? Somewhere, someone in the world needs to hear it. I am your host, Dr. LaKisha James, with Talks with LaKisha. Until next time, stay great.